Good morning. As you are so moved by your own faith and conscience, please join me in offering our prayer of invocation. To the one who has called us each by name, we invite your presence as we celebrate the accomplishments of this graduating class. As our students prepare to walk across the stage, may we walk in prayerful gratitude for all that has made this moment possible. For the families and others whose shoulders they stand upon, those who supported and sacrificed to see this hopeful moment. For faculty, staff, and administrators who challenged and offered care throughout their academic journey. For fellow students from whom they've learned about friendship and collaboration. And as our graduating students hear their own names spoken aloud today, may we each hear your voice offer a word of purpose and direction for our lives. Empower us to live lives that follow our calling, that we may strengthen and care for one another and your good earth as we walk together through this life. May we revel in this moment as we remember together and send these students across the threshold into the rest of their lives. Amen.
You may be seated, since, there they are. As chair of the Cornell College Board of Trustees, I recognize the achievements of its newest alumni. I call upon Mr. Jonathan Brand, president of the college, to preside over the festivities on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome our graduates, soon-to-be graduates, parents and friends as we officially bring to a close our 170th year. As we celebrate today, we gather with representatives from all across Cornell, students, alumni, emeriti faculty, staff, and members of the Board of Trustees. As always, special appreciation goes to the Commencement Committee, a memorable day for you. Today is about you as soon-to-be college graduates, as individuals who committed yourselves up to 4 years ago to becoming Cornell College graduates, and one of you who committed to becoming a Cornell graduate 84 years ago, and you did. You, of course, were unable to have your moment because of your service in the United States military during World War II. Today is also your day, and it's a joy to have you with us. And actually, Mr. Taylor, as I reflect on this, we now have an experiential learning requirement in order to graduate. No fewer than 2 out-of-the-classroom experiences in such areas as civic engagement, off-campus study. And I actually think you met those requirements before they were requirements. And join me in applauding them for their love and sacrifices to make today possible. And with that, I turn it over to our provost, Eileen Crawford.
Good morning. I'll take this opportunity to say hello to my own mother, who is watching on the live stream, as other mothers are today, so welcome. Again, commencement is a time to celebrate the achievements of the graduating class. So it is altogether appropriate to welcome a member of the senior class to deliver our first address. I am pleased to introduce our senior speaker, Makayla Kelleher. Makayla is past president of Student Senate, a resident assistant, and last summer served as the Floyd Scott Fellow in Neurology and Sleep Medicine at the Mayo Clinic. She is from Newton, Iowa, and will receive a Bachelor of Arts in Behavioral Neuroscience with a minor in theater. Last weekend, the Board of Trustees elected her to serve as the young trustee for the class of 2023. Please welcome Makayla to the stage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 commencement ceremony. As Provost Crawford mentioned, my name is Makayla Kelleher. Throughout my time at Cornell, I have had the honor of representing the student body as student body president, served as Cornell College's chapter of Psi-Chi, the International Honor Society in Psychology's president, helped many residents through my 3 years as a resident assistant, represented Cornell during my time as a Cornell Fellow at Mayo Clinic. I am also very excited to have been selected to serve on the Board of Trustees as the 2023 Young Trustee. I am overjoyed that I get to stand before you all this morning to help kick off the celebration of the class of 2023's amazing achievement of graduating college. What a ride we have been on, huh? Our first year at Cornell was full of laughter, joy, curiosity, and adventure. In August of 2019, we entered college for the first time, and what a magical experience that was. While there were so many exciting things happening, there was also a bit of anxiety with moving to the small town of Mount Vernon, Iowa, and the quaint community of Cornell. At the time, I'm sure there were thoughts of, am I gonna make friends? And what if I don't fit in? Maybe there were even some existential questions about the purpose of your life, or even college. Regardless, those were all hurdles that you were able to overcome. During our first year, we were discovering our new home. How many of you would say that you found home on the hilltop? This is truly a unique campus, and I'm proud we were able to all experience Cornell. Be sure to visit, call, and connect with those who have impacted your hilltop journey. Our second year had its own highlights. To start, our year was delayed due to the derecho, an inland hurricane with winds reaching 140 miles per hour. Anything that the derecho touched was changed forever, including our beloved King Chapel. On top of the destruction, the class of 2023 was separated. We all were. Some of our friends weren't taking in-person classes at Cornell, and some of our friends left altogether. It was a scary year for everyone. What happened to that perfect experience that we had in our hands just 1 year prior? Well, it seems that it had moved to the computer screen. We all remember the world of Zoom? Yeah. To add to the stress, our second year held one of the most crucial decisions that we all had to make, choosing a major. On the brighter side, through everything that our second year held, proved that the class of 2023 was full of innovation, introspection, growth, and adaptation. So much so that during our third year, we became new and improved people. The class of 2023 came back together, stronger than ever. We were finally on the other side. We were upperclassmen. Our class was working hard. We were taking some of the most difficult classes for our majors, completing internships, and finishing projects. We were remaking the connections that our first year created and our second year took away. It was a time for the class of 2023 to be resilient, compassionate, and influential. Our fourth and final year at Cornell has now come and is soon to be gone. Today, we can reflect on the mature, open-minded, world-changing people we have become. Our classmates were busy submitting applications to jobs, graduate schools, and other future opportunities. We were planning ahead, just as the block plan had taught us to do. In the chaos of our senior year, there were many bittersweet moments. There were lots of lasts. Our last late night snack, our last athletic or theater event, our last pack-hosted casino night, our last party, and many other lasts that made our journeys here on the hilltop feel complete. While we were having our lasts, our class was also saying goodbye. Goodbye to our residence halls, goodbye to our courses, goodbye to Cornell. Now we are starting to enter a time of reflection. I hope that you all see the things that will come from our class's amazing journey. They're amazing. Where would we be, though, without those who have helped us so greatly along our way? Remember to thank those who have made a difference for you during your time at Cornell. I know that each of you has someone in your life like Becca and Parker have been in mine, someone who has been by your side since day one, someone who can tell you that you're doing just a little bit too much, or someone who listens to anything and everything that you have to say. I also know that you all have someone who encourages you through the hard times, appreciates you beyond belief, and supports you no matter what. And for that, I'd like to give special thanks to my mom, who I always have the best day with, my dad, who has been my backbone, and my sister, who is my best friend. In addition, I know that we all have someone on campus who has guided you in more ways than one, challenged you to see the world a little differently, and encouraged you to try new things. My thanks on behalf of the class of 2023 goes to everyone at Cornell, our professors, our staff, our administrators for teaching us how to grow. As I wrap up my time before you all, I wanted to wish the class of 2023 luck before we complete our final journey at Cornell, walking across the stage. If the last 4 years are any indication for what the future holds, everyone here is about to embark on a lifetime of fantastic change and impact. Please don't lose sight of your dreams. You're only just beginning. Thank you, and congratulations to all.
Thank you very much, Makayla. The faculty address is delivered by a professor nominated by the senior class. This selection recognizes faculty members who've made a strong contribution to the lives and learning of the members of the class. This year, we are honored to have Professor of Art History, Christina Penn-Goetsch, as our faculty speaker. Chris earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in Art History with distinction at the University of Virginia, and her MA and PhD in Art History from the University of Iowa. Please welcome Professor Penn-Goetsch to the stage. There is a prop.
So true. I just overheard President Brand say, "Classic." Indeed it is. Okay. I am dedicating this speech to Professor Tepper, with whom I have co-presented many a talk about the benefits of teaching here at Cornell College. Nevertheless, as wonderful as you are, please do not read too much into my choice of the David as the focus of my address. This spring has presented a few challenges for an art historian with a specialty in Italian art. Michelangelo's David has played a prominent role in the news. As soon as we got back from Rome, our trip to Rome, it was all over the news. Now, remember that the original David is 17 feet tall and approximately 7 tons of Carrara marble, unlike this cardboard cutout. This past March, a middle school teacher chose to introduce Italian Renaissance art to students and to include a photograph of Michelangelo's David of 1504 to the distress of a few parents from Tallahassee, Florida. The display resulted in the resignation of the principal of the charter school and a subsequent visit to Florence on April 28th at the Italian mayor's invitation. This made national news and any number of art historical blogs and cultural property newsletters. The debate raged about the statue's role as an artistic icon or pornography. This spring's sketch on Saturday Night Live lampoons the whole story with an interview including a David that wants to reveal how pretty he is in all his splendor. Now, I'm not recommending that you go to this sketch. It might be a little bit crude for you. Oh, I should learn. Whenever I tell my classes not to look at something, they do. Oh well. Now I want to come back to the controversy. The director of Florence's Galleria dell'Accademia even went so far as to say, quote, "To think that the David could be pornographic means truly not understanding the contents of the Bible, not understanding Western culture, and not understanding Renaissance art," end quote. But is this the case? Her answer may be too simplistic. Today, my goal is not to define what qualifies as art. Instead, I want to use the image as an exemplum of 1, your preparation as a graduate of Cornell College, and 2, a commentary on the Goliath or Goliaths that you have faced while at Cornell College. I can think of few better symbols for the college outside of Ulysses. However, I want to tell you more about the value of this sculpture first. I would guess that there are quite a few of you here at Cornell who have a fine appreciation of the figure. The narrative implied by Michelangelo's biblical hero is unusually ambiguous for a shepherd boy who brings down the giant Goliath in 1 Samuel. Here, he is an adult, a nude man, who waits for the arrival of the giant Goliath. David, whose very name means beloved, seems to be admired by many and appears on multiple posters and refrigerator magnets. I dare say it also shows up on a light switch, but I'm not going to talk about that. When I was traveling with the class to Italy last February, Susan Riednauer from our Mail and Service Center fulfilled a long-maintained dream, a high school fantasy of sorts. What made her fantasy become a reality? It was meeting Michelangelo's David in person. If you search on the web, get ready for this, I'm looking at you right now. If you search on the web, you might also find a selfie of sorts with Professor David Yamanishi. And David, from my favorite perspective, the backside. I am not alone. There's a curved bench just behind the Colossus that allows one just to contemplate his best feature at Florence's museum. David, the sculpture of David, not David Yamanishi, found its final location in the Piazza Signoria as a symbol of the newly organized Republic of Florence, the body politic. But its meaning or significance still varied, even in its own day. Giorgio Vasari celebrates how Michelangelo restored to life a large stone originally called the Giant. That stone had long been left for dead. He announced, quote, To be sure, anyone who sees this statue need not be concerned with seeing any other piece of sculpture done in our times or in any other period by any other artist. End quote. Despite this high praise, the work was pelted with stones by an anti-Medici group before it was even put in place in 1504. Then again, in 1511, a pro-Medici faction threw a chair or bench out of a window and onto the David. There's no true consensus on the symbolism of this work. It is ambiguous. Now, let's talk about the fig leaf in the room. And then the cultural significance or context will become all the more apparent. The fig leaf here, sported by this cardboard cutout, is a reproduction of Domenico Bucciani's detachable fig leaf, created for Queen Victoria's copy of the sculpture from 1857. Okay? It's still shown, the fig leaf, as a work of art at the Victoria and Albert. By the way, I'm intrigued by this. Queen Victoria apparently had a very happy marriage. You can read in between the lines. Okay. More recently, the fig leaf, or lack of such a fig leaf, has shown up in other contested venues. Of course, the presence of an intact copy in Las Vegas's Caesar Palace and the Ringling Museum of Art's courtyard does not draw as much tension as a 16-foot reproduction instilled for a rural garden in Japan. Such a degree of nudity in this context in 2013 was illegal for Japanese publications. Then again, a poster of the David initially drew the attention of the Vice Squad in 1969 Sydney, Australia, and I often wonder whether this event inspired one of my favorite animations focused on David's fig leaf by Monty Python. I say this for those of you who are of my generation. Okay. There was nearly an international incident in Dubai at the 2021 Art Expo, where Italy had provided a 3D copy of the David for the Italian pavilion. It was too late for the work to be returned or altered when curators recognized the potential problem. Instead, the work was largely hidden in a rather unique octagonal structure that only allowed visitors to see the head and the legs of the figure. Although many Italians balked again, such a degree of nudity was not appropriate for the United Arab Emirates. By the way, we are lucky here in the state of Iowa. We have our own reproduction of Michelangelo's David in, of all places, Sioux City, Iowa. Meaning changes with a variety of contexts, and that awareness is precisely what I hope you take with you into the future. For me, that is one of the key things that I hope that you have learned while an undergraduate here at Cornell. When I think of other examples in the arts, I am certain that Michel Mouton could talk at length about the role of gender and class with the censorship of Oscar Wilde's portrait of Dorian Gray in late 19th century Britain. Related questions about the context are precisely what will assist you on a worldwide stage that is ever changing. Now, I do want to consider how the artist viewed his own work. Michelangelo took pride in having executed the David from a giant piece of stone that was deemed impossible to carve. This was his achievement. A written example is found on a partial drawing of Michelangelo's famous work, and another second bronze version of a David, now in the Louvre. He wrote, quote, "David with the sling and I with the bow," end quote. Do my art and culture people remember this? You should. Here, the artist is comparing himself to the young biblical David who overcomes the giant Goliath with his bowed compass, the tool of an artist. You too have accomplished the seemingly impossible. Every single one of you have faced all sorts of academic challenges with untold numbers of papers, exhibitions, productions, experiments, and exams, along with, I dare say, some personal challenges. Nevertheless, there's something special about what you have faced as compared to other alum. In your first year at Cornell, you were clearly not a shepherd boy. Maybe, but I don't think so. However, most of you were still relatively young. You left for spring break in 2020, and most of you did not return to campus that year. You had to learn how to adapt to a whole new way of learning, distance learning. We all did. Our relationships with our colleagues and friends changed, as did our relationships with our immediate families as we fought over bandwidth. A Cornell crisis management team went into action. The Cornell esports team donated processing power to a global network to work on better understanding the coronavirus. Cornell Cares was established to help our students. Barbara Christie Poe, ever at the ready, created a biology class about the pandemic to help us better understand what we were facing. Joint committees of faculty and students set about determining how to best fight the spread of COVID-19 on campus. As part of the Cornell Summer Research Institute, under the direction of Brandy and Jai Shinada. In standard Chris Penn-Goetsch way, I listed Brandy's name first. Okay. As part of this process, Senior Gwen Paul worked tirelessly as part of this program and has just won the McElroy Scholarship this year. As provost, Eileen Crawford once said to me, quote, "She has confronted Goliath and won for sure," end quote. Think about this bit of information. According to the National Student Clearinghouse research, 26.1% of the 2.6 million students who started college in the fall of 2019 did not come back in the fall of 2020. That is about 679,000 students. Now, I'm serious here. Look around you, at your peers. You are resilient. You have adapted. You are here. As an aside, I must acknowledge that most students have faced a Goliath or two while as an undergraduate. Fred Taylor, class of 1943, faced the looming giant that was World War II in his senior year. We thank you for your service and welcome you back home to the hilltop. Cornell also met more than one Goliath in fall of 2020. To make matters even more difficult, a derecho, which you've already heard about, with 140-mile-per-hour winds hit in August 2020. The hilltop lost over 150 trees, the power was out for 4 days, and the structural integrity of King Chapel still remains in question. Yet you are metaphorically still standing and awaiting to move your tassel. Classes in the fall of 2020 began 2 weeks late with reconfigured rooms, new signage, social distancing, random testing, hand sanitizers, fans, and face masks. Although a few of you continued to work from home online that fall, Cornell was one of the few colleges still largely in person. By fall 2021, one of the largest classes in 2 decades arrived on campus. This meant that you were succeeding in the block plan's battle with COVID-19. You persevered against a very large Goliath and now stand on the verge of becoming a graduate of Cornell College. And I speak for all of us in saying that we hope that you, like David, are ready for whatever future Goliath comes your way. Congratulations to the class of 2023.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you, David.
It is customary on this occasion to recognize members of the faculty who are retiring from full-time duties. I am pleased to recognize 3 such persons today.
Will Professor of Biology Craig Tepper please escort Professor of Biology Barbara Christie Pope to the platform?
Mr. President, I have the distinct honor to present Dr. Barbara Christie Pope for conferring of the rank of Professor Emerita of Biology.
So it's my pleasure to read the citation composed by Barbara's colleagues. Barbara, you've been a valuable teacher, scientist, and member of the faculty at Cornell for over 3 decades. Your background includes a BS in zoology, a BS in biomedical science, and a PhD in pharmacology. You received further training in neuromorphology and neuropathology as postdoctoral fellowships. This background allowed you to teach courses in cellular biology, human anatomy and physiology, neurobiology, and immunology. However, your favorite courses were for students not majoring in the biological sciences and included courses in public health, global health, sex and gender issues in health, genetic engineering, and most recently, the science of COVID-19. You have guided, collaborated, and sometimes coerced your students to achieve heights they never thought were possible. Most of your courses included cases that asked your students to think deeper, emphasizing that science can and should be involved in many aspects of their lives. You're fond of saying, "I love drugs," and then justify that statement by demonstrating to students how the study of drugs involves not just biochemistry and physiology, but also the impact of drugs on individuals and on society. Although you have made many contributions to the college, such as chairing the biology department, the contribution that stands out is our Dimensions program, which you designed and implemented along with Cornell alum Dr. Larry Dorr, class of 1963, 18 years ago. You and Dr. Dorr shared a commitment to clearly demonstrate to students that the study of medicine is more than just learning the science. Medicine and healthcare require exactly what Cornell College offers, a liberal arts education. Your energy and enthusiasm help to guide students to become healthcare professionals and scientists that cultivate art and the humanities into the treatment of patients and into investigations of health, wellness, and disease. You also extended your desire to teach and demonstrate the beauty of the brain outside of Cornell. You are known as the Brain Lady to many children and young adults in schools in Cedar Rapids and Central Iowa. You visited schools, sometimes bringing real human brains, to talk about how the brain works, how to care for your brain, and dispel myths about the brain. You often hosted entire classes in the Human Anatomy Lab, which contains a human cadaver. You designed the cadaver lab almost 20 years ago to help students understand the complexity and the beauty of the human body. You have involved numerous students in your investigations of the cause of the neurodegenerative disease, Parkinson's disease, both in your research laboratory at Cornell, but also in laboratories at the University of Iowa, Carver College of Medicine. You participated in the University of Iowa's Future program, fostering undergraduate talent, uniting research and education in biomedicine for 10 years. The students you have mentored over the years all agree that you not only launched their science careers, but also inspired them. Here's what they have to say. Barbara was one of the most challenging professors I had at Cornell, but she was also one of the most engaging, caring, and intelligent. Working with Barbara was one of the most inspiring and hilarious experiences I've ever had. I remember fondly and so clearly Barbara's genuine enthusiasm and excitement that she brought to the research process. I couldn't help but get excited about my project because of Barbara's excitement. It was clear that you loved being in the lab. It was your happy place. Your colleagues are so thankful that they have had the opportunity to learn from you as a teacher, a researcher, a mentor, and unapologetically an amazing woman in STEM. We all wish you well in retirement and future adventures. Congratulations, Barbara.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Barbara's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on her today the rank of Professor Emerita of Biology.
Will Professor of English, Leslie Kathleen Hankins, please escort Professor of English, Michelle Mouton, to the platform.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Michelle Mouton for the conferring of the rank of Professor Emerita of English.
Michelle, I am pleased to read this citation composed by your colleagues. Emerita is an award you have more than earned. You have been an amazing presence at the college, in the classroom, the Department of English and Creative Writing, the Mount Vernon community, and in Victorian studies beyond Cornell. With keen intellectual skills, superb organizational acumen, innovative pedagogy, eclectic, groundbreaking research, and faculty governance leadership, including serving as chair of the English department, you have been the quintessential Cornell College professor and campus citizen. You published in top-tier Victorian studies venues. One leading scholar cited your work on Victorian novelist Anthony Trollope as groundbreaking. You researched Oscar Wilde, including through a National Endowment for the Humanities seminar, reaching out to local audiences in an article for the Wapsipinicon Almanac. You served as reader for journals and PhD dissertations, and a model lifelong learner, took countless workshops and seminars throughout your career. In addition to work in your areas of specialization of 19th century British literature and critical theory, you developed new courses and charted new research venues, such as learning beekeeping skills to study the impact of ecology on historical human food systems. On the forefront of digital studies in the humanities, your course design for Introduction to Digital Humanities, the Digital Mary Shelley, brought us into the 21st century. Capitalizing on the block plan, you provided students with experiential learning opportunities, teaching them to design and print letterpress broadsides in the manner of Dickens' contemporaries to comprehend the history of reading technologies. You help students connect learning across disciplines, teaching at the intersections of literature, science, and politics. In your brilliant redesign of the England trip, you brought your expertise of English cultural life to curate a course that included intellectual awareness, vibrant touring experiences, immersion in the theater life of London and Stratford-upon-Avon, a class that over time developed to include Scotland, Bath, and the Welsh coast, and became legendary among students. In 2006, you were chosen to direct the London program for the Associated Colleges of the Midwest. A demanding professor, you inspired students to reach higher and deeper. Your investment in student success is demonstrated through keen attention to student work, including numerous honors projects. Setting high standards in courses, you provided students with the tools needed to meet those standards and celebrated student achievement. You loved your students, and it has been mutual. Last but not least, the Foxton Press serves as a lasting legacy to your dedication, innovation, persistence, and productivity. To build momentum for this ambitious project, you co-wrote a grant proposal and served as principal organizer of an Associated Colleges of the Midwest Conference on Past, Present, and Future of the Book, a stellar inter-arts event that drew participation from the University of Iowa Center for the Book. Without your dedicated outreach, leadership, and generously donated time setting up the print shop, Foxton Press would not have flourished. With no budget, you connected with letterpress printers and artists across the Midwest, brought in copious amounts of rare type and equipment, including a treasure trove of printers' cuts and the font collection of Cornell's English Club Press from the Tull and Dana eras. You taught letterpress printing and bookbinding and brought Foxton Press to the attention of many. You introduced students to the physical history of Dickens' work and the process of bookmaking. More than that, you have helped educate the entire campus of the importance of book history to the field of literary studies, to our college's history, and to the liberal arts as a whole. You managed all of this with brilliance, collegiality, and generosity of spirit. You have left a genuine legacy. Generations of students and faculty owe you much more than can be said here. Congratulations, Michelle.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Michelle's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Cornell College Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on her today the rank of Professor Emerita of English.
Will Professor of Biology Barbara Christie Pope please escort Professor of Biology Craig Tepper to the platform?
Remember us? Mr. President, I have the honor to present Dr. Craig Tepper for the conferring of the rank Professor Emeritus of Biology.
Craig, for 34 years, you have been a valuable member of the Cornell College community. You are well respected among your colleagues and students, generous with your time, and innovative with your teaching. You have an undergraduate degree in aquatic biology and a PhD in molecular plant pathology, which has allowed you to teach a range of subcellular biology courses. You were instrumental in developing and serving as program director for our renowned biochemistry molecular biology program. Under your guidance, the BMB program has become the largest major at Cornell and has served to train countless numbers of scientific researchers and healthcare professionals. You have shown yourself to be a rigorous and innovative teacher. You have pushed your students to develop critical thinking skills that are broadly applicable to a wide range of problems. The off-campus course you started with Bob Black and continued with Barbara Christie Pope has allowed hundreds of students to travel to the Caribbean and become involved in research examining the effects of global warming on coral reefs. You have mentored hundreds of students through laboratory research experiences in your research lab over the summer and have been the faculty director of the Cornell Summer Research Institute since 2017. 15 Cornell undergraduates are co-authors on your scientific publications, and you have helped students find research opportunities outside of Cornell. You were named the first Ringer Distinguished Professor in 2007. During your service to the college, you were biology department chair for a total of 8 years and have served on many committees of the college. Considering everything that you have done for this college, according to your colleagues, what really stands out is the relationships you cultivated with your students. And it is appropriate at this time to hear from some of your students directly. Here is what they have to say. Craig's presence in my life always reminds me of how blessed I am. The constant well dones and good job he told me after seeing my grade for every block. The shoulder pats that said, "You'll be fine," when I was struggling in a class. All of them I'll be forever grateful for. As a professor, he was the absolute best. He might have wanted to hit me with a crowbar and make me retake the bio classes I took with him, but he was great with telling me where I was missing it and how to improve. I loved the sacrifices he made for his students. With him, it was clear that his students came first from the way he took time to explain concepts. Most of the growth I've made as a student was mostly because of him. Over the past 4 years, I've learned that Craig is good at explaining complex scientific mechanisms as well as the challenging parts of growing up. He always says that working with young adults gives him energy, but I think this is a symbiotic relationship. He makes me determined to do well and pushes me to be the best I can be. Craig is full of life and spirit and has so much love for what he does that it rubs off on those around him. And finally, Craig Tepper has inspired me to be the best version of myself, and I wish him all the best because he deserves the best. And indeed you do. Congratulations, Craig.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Craig's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on him today the rank of Professor Emeritus of Biology.
As members of the class of 2023, you join our growing group of college alumni. I am pleased to introduce to you Bishop Jack Lumenog, class of 1996, president of the Cornell College Alumni Association Board of Directors, as our alumni speaker. In April 2019, Jack was ordained bishop for the Anglican Diocese of St. Ignatius Loyola. Jack is also a lieutenant colonel and volunteer chaplain in the U.S. Air Force Auxiliary Civil Air Patrol. A native of Hoboken, New Jersey, Jack majored in religion at Cornell with minors in theater and communications, music, psychology, and education. Please welcome the man from Hoboken, Bishop Jack Lumenog.
Thank you, Provost Crawford. Wow, it's so great to be back here to the Hilltop and to congratulate the class of 2023. You are a part of a special place, and you are part of a special story. It is my honor and joy to serve as the president of the Alumni Board of Directors for your Alumni Association. As a graduate of Cornell College, I believe we do have a lot in common. Despite the fact that I graduated from this place just 27 years ago, I like to say I took the block plan classic. You had to do block plan and COVID. You are amazing. We have proved that we can do anything in 18 days. Who among us here hasn't read several novels in one evening because it just popped up on the syllabus? That was there? Or maybe wished that your class of 25 was magically an auditorium of 250 students just so you could hide. But no, instead you're in a conference room in Cole Library and your professor is calling you by your first name, just looking at you dead in the face. and expecting an answer? How dare you? Why did I come to a college that caps the classroom size at 25 students? I sometimes asked myself here. Or maybe you're a romantic like me, and you met someone in class, and you hit it off, and the sparks really flew, right? And you maybe said to yourself, carpe diem, or YOLO, or whatever you kids say today. I fell in love here, and I had my heart broken. But then I found the courage to love again. And then before you knew it, it was block break. And it was on to block number 2. I do not recommend block plan romances in the real life. It doesn't work outside of here. I say all that to say this. You are a part of a special place. You are part of a special story. And all of us here today are part of a grand story on this surprising special hilltop that has been here since 1853. Cornell College was not built on elitism, but instead, we have managed to lead the way in equity. Never forget that. Women were admitted as students and taught and paid as full professors from the earliest days of this institution. In 1870, Samuel Johnson was admitted, and our student newspaper wrote at the time, he was a slave 6 years ago. Martin Luther King would speak in our King Chapel in 1962. The college has supported gay and lesbian students with a support group that was established in the 1970s. And if I may say, it's never too late to make history. As a Filipino American, I am proud to be the first person of color to lead the alumni board as president, since your alumni association was formed here in 1873 at Cornell College. You are part of a special place. You are part of a special story. So today, class of 2023, take your part in this special place. Take your part in our special story. You could have gone anywhere to learn how to be competent in the working world. You could have gone anywhere to earn a credential. But we all ended up here somehow, like me, a kid from Hoboken, New Jersey, who thought the water tower was a nuclear reactor, having never seen one before. But we all ended up on the surprising hilltop in Iowa. So I hope you will take the competence and the credential you have earned today with compassion that you hopefully practiced in your time here, wherever the blessings of life will take you next. Think about it. You and I were never just a number here in our 4 years at Cornell. We lived in a tight-knit campus community together where we could see each other and be seen by one another. And we need more of that humanity, that compassion in our world right now, where both humanity and compassion are in such short supply. And so, class of 2023, on behalf of the 17,000 graduates around the world, I welcome you to your Cornell College Alumni Association. Your Alumni Association is going to be here for you to keep you connected to our beloved Hilltop and connected with your fellow Cornellians. You will receive class updates from your Alumni Association and invitations to regional events, and of course, homecoming. And don't forget that this Hilltop is always here for you. And we want you to come back, and we want to hear from you. Why? Because you are part of a special place, and you are part of a special story. Congratulations, one and all, and I wish you every blessing on this great day. And of course, let's never forget, let's go Rams forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jack. We now come to the most important part of our ceremony today, the presentations of candidates for degrees. President Brand, I have the honor of presenting candidates for Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science and Engineering, Bachelor of Special Studies, and Bachelor of Music degrees. These students have successfully completed their course of study, been recommended by the faculty, and been approved by the Board of Trustees, and I now respectfully request that you, by your official act, confer upon them individually their degrees and admit them to all associated privileges and obligations.
Thank you, Provost Crawford. We wish to begin our conferring of degrees with one special graduate. Mr. Taylor, Fred, if I may, left Cornell College in February of 1943 to serve our country flying fighter planes during World War II. 80 years later, he is, at this very moment, taking the steps to finish what he never got the opportunity to do, to be on this stage. Following the war, Fred taught music in Baird, Iowa, and later in La Mesa, California, where his family settled. Fred and Peggy Elaine Newberg, Cornell College class of 1946, and the love of his life, were married for 75.5 years and had a daughter, Linda. We also know, sometime after commencement in 1943, Fred's father drove about 10 miles from Springville, Iowa, south to Cornell to pick up his diploma. And today, I am honored to personally hand it to him, to you. Before that can happen, Fred is going to do something else he didn't get to do in 1943, to turn his tassel. Members, well, actually, Mr. Taylor, would you come on up to stage? Members of the class of 2023, Will you please join Mr. Taylor in standing again? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, by vote of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the sovereign state of Iowa, I hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees you have earned during your course of study at Cornell College, together with all of the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I now invite Mr. Taylor to lead you from this stage as you move the tassels on your caps to the left side, signifying your achievement as college graduates. If you would lead them, Mr. Taylor. You may be seated. And now, at 101 and 8 decades, 80 decades, 8 decades, 80 years. I'm going to come back as a math major, you watch. Actually, that's not math, that's just counting. 8 decades after the class of 1943 commencement he missed, we are very proud to officially present Mr. Frederick Taylor with his Cornell College degree. Provost Crawford, if you would please read the names of the candidates.
With pleasure. Before we begin recognizing our 2023 graduates, let me provide some quick instructions to parents and friends who are here with us today. There are 2 professional photographers here taking pictures of all the graduates. We ask that you stay seated during the ceremony and take your own photos after the ceremony. Student marshals, please escort our graduates to the stage. Sadie Kate Kansas Vinson. Alan Kelly Sitzman. Parker Pearl Townsend. Annalisa Rose Wolf. Emma Madeline Burnett. Adam B. Mitchell. Drake Dwayne Parks. Landon Lee Blockington. Hunter Wayne Wright. Nathaniel Lee Phillips. Brevin Cyril Hahn. Nathan John Waters. Matthew Curtis Corley. Andrew Malcolm Corley. Allery Schmidt. Nicole Marie Leroy. Madison Ann Osborne. Madison Marie Coulter. Samantha Sullivan Warho. Megan Elizabeth Gandrup. Alyssa Marie Pearson. Zoe Nadine Harvey. Erin Marie Puck. LaCane Janelle Barker. Cade Tristan Delaney Cowan. Aaron Peter Halpern. Blake Soto. Lincoln Hempel Warner. Andrew Stephen Bruck. Nolan Philip Ziegler. Andrew Harley Hernandez Lopez. Sarah Lauren Hogan. Carolyn Beth Riss. Annabella Polis. Gwyneth Lang Pauley. Henry Emmanuel Brima Moray. Madeline Marie Strauss. Aveline Zola Shesher. Devin Kendall Hobbs. Parker David Creech. Makayla Rose Kelleher. Rebecca Hope Gutierrez. Lauren Kinsey Johnson. Sylvia Kaylee Bussey. Martina Elizabeth Avalar. Lily Hannah Hartney. Victoria Elizabeth Pizzeri. Erin Michelle Sloan. Chungliang Ma. Caesar Han. Youngsing Zhang. Elizabeth Sarah Hively. Matthew Joseph McGuire. Brian Joseph Cochran. Rahul Rangarajan. Nathan Ernest Daniels. Jack Hoffman Castiglione. Harper Emerson Cates. Jacob Frederick Clark. Ricardo Antonio Burnett. William Douglas Sparks. Jonathan Samuel Shalansky. Drake Clarence Fox. Ryan David Hunt. Victoria Elise Poquette. Aixa Alicia Reina. Lydia Louise Lines. Alexander Sebastian Bajoun, biochemistry and molecular biology major, holding his daughter, Bridget May Bajoun, initials BMB. Randy Lee Young. Madeline June Morris. Cole Allen Wickham. Michael Fritz Koester. Veronica Claire Wagner. Emma Elizabeth Titus. Courtney Lynn Fletcher. Chloe R. Thorndike. Griffin Joseph Gravel. Zachary Connor McCain. Joshua William Pfeiffer. Ethan Lee Kupka. Warren Richard Weiberg. Elliot Keenan Smith. Samuel Reese Gabor. Kate Ann Abrams. Anna Catherine Ertl. Kat Marie Line. Madison Kylie Waters. Anna Caroline Millard. Madeline Ann Hicks. Elise Marie Faye Kalin. Sierra Sky Burgo. Maxwell Richard Weaver. Brady Matthew. Elisa Joyce Robinson. Clara Louise Haverstick. Carson Chambers Wiggins. Annika Lee Suter. Ruth Ann Elizabeth Hale. Naomi Marie Bauer. Sirik Stultz. Olivia Latrell Vinnis. Catherine Helen Wilson Marr. Siri Undum Barrier. Willow Rose Barton. Alyssa Joyce Thrapp. Greta Carolyn Henderson. Bryce Skiok Fincher. Daniel Joseph Shaw. Rook Amanda Waits. Scott Allen Clemmy. Elizabeth May Gardner. Abigail Elizabeth Patton. Skylar Fenton Voss. Sarah Marie Mumford. Olivia Elizabeth Wilson. Katie Ann Hurt Haller. Diana Michelle Shea. David Sidney McKenna. Haley A. Wilson. Trevor James Bogey. Logan Kenneth Sharp. Brady David Ragland. Jeremy David Durden. Shane Peter Van Heusen. Isaac James Mackey. Grace Elizabeth Marty. Olivia Grace Richards. Paul Christopher Hageman. Jacob Cole Ramirez. Evan Bartholomew Husko. Corey Stewart. Riley Jean Pishu. Gavin Isaac Winters. Marlo Riley Webster. Nathan Scott Segelke. Nicholas C. Campbell. Nelson Vasquez. Galen Lewis Westervelt. Jackson Jeffrey Meeker. Vance Aaron Wicker. Anthony Jovan Pilgrim. Jacob Daniel Winslow. James Alexander Kent. Michael David Knight. Tian Wu. Connor Jaden Foster. Matthew Gregory Sween. Blaze Monroe Dosvardis. Jacob Gregory Alm. Josiah Caleb Shaw. Dylan J. Vargas. Carson Robert Dodge. Robert Andrew Peterson. Chad Daniel DeZerba. Carter Jonathan Kriegel. Colton Riley Henriksen. Drew Riley Logel. William Joseph Miller. Colton Anthony Slinger. Colin Francis Konasek. Colin Garula. Preston Mitchell Wright. Lauren Elizabeth Nalen. Alyssa Lee Burns. Grace Marie Can. Abigail Noel Himes. Sydney Jean King. Anna Elizabeth Schur. Sana Carolyn Krosch. Callista Lee Bergstrom. Eva McKenna Thomas. Sydney Noel Hancocks. Emma Fagan Klinkhammer. Aurora Jean Light. Madeline Ryan Doran. Annika Carol Beckman. Claire Elizabeth Gugerty. And Becca Louise Lupke. So not all of our graduates are able to be here today. So I will now read the names of the graduates who are unable to be in attendance at today's ceremony. And some of them are watching on the live stream. We do wish them well, wherever they are in the world. Billy Catherine Fogarty. Jessica Walsh Myers. Isabel Bardasono. Cameron Ginn McKinney. Reagan Elizabeth Cooker. Erlang Long. Ryan Ringgold. Jessica Lee Self. Nikita Stevenson. Anna Pearl Patricia Stevenson. Ashton Grace Thurber. And Ashley Grace Viss. Mr. President, this concludes the reading of the names of the graduates of the Cornell College class of 2023.
Thank you, Provost Crawford. So several months ago, I received a letter from Fred Taylor's daughter, Linda, asking whether he could participate in this year's commencement ceremony. And I'll never forget the moment I thought, is this a trick question? And of course, we're delighted that you're here today. As you now know, in 1943, Fred completed all of his graduation requirements and of course did receive his degree. However, he mentioned in a recent interview that this always felt incomplete to him. Something was missing, and that participating in the ceremony today is like finally completing my education. Now, we have not been able to track down the charge to the graduating class of 1943. It was held on May 31st, 1943, though we know from the commencement program that, in fact, there was a charge. However, 1 month after commencement, the Cornell Bulletin, which was and is a precursor to our current Cornell alumni magazine, the Cornell Report, offers a beautiful summary of our commencement weekend and the academic year, providing us some insight into Cornell in 1943. And I'd like to thank Megan Yamanishi, consulting librarian for social science and college archivist, for having uncovered the Cornell Bulletin, our commencement program, and other information in our archives. Now here's what I can tell you. The 1943 commencement was presided over by acting president Russell Cole. Think Cole Library. It was his first commencement as president. We graduated 69 seniors with a total student body of 453 students, which was down almost 200 due to the war. The commencement program also listed 13 students who were called to active duty before the end of the academic year. And Fred, you're in that program, which gave me goosebumps when I saw that. As you would expect, the war loomed large on campus. In the June 1943 Cornell Bulletin, President Cole noted, and I quote, "The current year has been one of very great tension and strain for the student body. Many of the young men have gone from day to day without knowing when they would be asked to give up their education and enter military service. In the face of this uncertainty, we are proud of our students and the record which they have established during this past year. They have given the college a reputation in competitive tests of scholastic achievements, in athletic contests, and in their general conduct and behavior both on the campus and in the environing community. The enlistments from the student body into the reserve program of the past year makes a grand total of 183 students. As students, they made a fine contribution to Cornell life. If their conduct and abilities here are any indication of the contributions they will make in the service, and we believe it is, they will do honor to their country in many branches of the armed forces and in many parts of the world." End of quote. During commencement, there was a keynote address offered by Bishop Edwin F. Lee, a former missionary, entitled, and the commencement address was entitled, "Education for a Worldwide Mind," preparing students for what everyone hoped would ultimately mean a more normal life after World War I, though that was definitely not assured in 1943. Again, in the 1943 Cornell Bulletin, President Cole concluded his comments by capturing Cornell's essence then and today. And I quote, "This report could not be ended without an expression of appreciation for the fine spirit and cooperation of the Cornell family. Together, we have faced numerous problems. Some of these have been difficult to deal with because of the adjustments necessary. The task, however, has been much lightened because of the keen appreciation and the cooperative spirit of the entire staff. Cornell College also has an administrative staff which is cautious and has the welfare of the college at heart, a general staff efficiently carrying on many activities incidental to successful operation, a faculty devoted to the institution and to its work, a group of scholars of which you may be proud, a student body as fine as can be found on any campus, selected with care and making the most of their opportunities. Furthermore, the college has loyal alumni in all parts of the world, the kind of asset of which any institution may be proud, and a host of friends who believe in the liberal arts college. The college's future, even in these days, is as bright as it is its past is glorious." End of quote. I love being able to connect Cornell of 1943 to Cornell of 2023, 80 years on. I mean, President Cole's message of 1943 in characterizing our students, our faculty, our staff, our alumni could have been written for us today, here in 2023. And of course, there are multiple parallels, including our ability to overcome global crises. So my charge to you is simple. Do what you already do best after you leave here. And that includes you, Fred. As Cornellians, continue to show the world your big hearts and your big minds. That's it. My friends, with a Cornell College degree, you are now a part of a 170-year history. You join a group of distinguished alumni all over the world. Build relationships with your fellow alumni because literally they are there to help you. And please stay in touch with us. You should always know, as you've already heard, that one of your homes is always going to be on this hilltop. So again, everyone, please join me in congratulating the classes of 2023 and 1943.
So we're nearly there. As we close our ceremony today, those on stage will recess, after which students may join their families. Graduates, you'll be able to pick up your diplomas from the tables near the stage on the east wall prior to 1 p.m. And enclosed in the envelope with your diploma will be your meal tickets for brunch, and that will be served through 1:30 p.m. Now, please stand and remain standing for a performance of the alma mater and our benediction.
Today, you cross the threshold and leave this community. But as others have said, you join a group of kindred souls who have come and gone before you. While you step onto a path unknown, wherever you go, fellow travelers are there to greet you, to guide you and be your companions. Whatever your joys or difficulties the journey may bring. May the Spirit guide you as the next chapters of your life unfold. May you enliven hope and create good in the world. May today's celebration be a reflection of the journey you've been on. May you go forth and do that which calls you to make this world more loving, more compassionate. May you use your skills and gifts in this world every day. May it be so. Amen. Congratulations, class of 2023.